If you're watching this right now, something deeper than curiosity brought you here. Your thumb didn't just randomly scroll to this video. Your mind didn't accidentally click on these words. There's a part of you, maybe buried beneath layers of doubt and distraction, that recognizes when the universe is trying to get your attention. And right now, in this exact moment, it's speaking directly to you. You know that feeling when you're driving down a familiar road and suddenly notice a billboard you've passed 100 times before, but today the message hits different? Or when you're scrolling through endless content and one thing stops you cold, like it was placed there specifically for you to find? That's not coincidence. That's recognition. Your soul recognizing a frequency it's been waiting to hear. Most people live their entire lives treating these moments like random events. They dismiss the synchronicities, ignore the patterns, and convince themselves that meaning is something they have to manufacture rather than something they're constantly surrounded by. But you're not most people. If you were, you would have kept scrolling. You would have dismissed this as just another video in an endless sea of content. But you didn't. You stopped. You clicked. You're here. There's something stirring in you right now. Maybe it's subtle, like a whisper you can barely make out. Maybe it's louder, like a drumbeat that's been growing stronger for weeks or months. Either way, you feel it. That sense that your life is trying to tell you something, that the experiences you've been having, the people you've been meeting, the challenges you've been facing, they're not random. They're breadcrumbs leading you somewhere specific. But here's what nobody tells you about divine timing and universal messages. They don't come with instruction manuals. They don't arrive with clear explanations or step-by-step guides. They show up as feelings, as hunches, as moments when everything suddenly makes sense, even though nothing has technically changed. They whisper through the cracks in your routine, through the spaces between your thoughts, through the quiet moments when you finally stop running long enough to listen. You've been running, haven't you? Not physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Running from something you can't quite name but definitely feel. Running towards something you can't quite see but desperately want. And in all that movement, in all that noise, something has been trying to reach you. Something that doesn't need to shout because it knows you'll eventually get quiet enough to hear it. Maybe it started small. A song that played at exactly the right moment. A conversation that felt too perfectly timed to be chance. A dream that lingered long after you woke up, carrying information you didn't remember learning. These weren't accidents. They were invitations, gentle nudges from a reality that's far more intelligent and interconnected than most people ever realized. The thing about messages from the universe is that they're not always comfortable. They don't always tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes they arrive disguised as problems that won't go away, as doors that keep closing no matter how hard you push, as relationships that end just when you thought they were beginning. Sometimes the message is in the resistance itself. Sometimes what you're fighting against is exactly what you need to embrace. You've probably noticed patterns in your life, the same types of people showing up repeatedly, the same kinds of challenges presenting themselves in different forms, the same emotions surfacing over and over, no matter how many times you think you've dealt with them. Most people see these patterns as evidence that life is unfair, or that they're somehow cursed to repeat the same mistakes. But patterns aren't punishments. They're curricula. Life is trying to teach you something, and it will keep presenting the same lesson in different forms until you finally get it. Right now, as you're listening to these words, something is shifting inside you. You can feel it, can't you? That recognition. That sense of coming home to a truth you've always known but somehow forgot. It's like remembering a dream that felt more real than waking life. It's like finding a piece of yourself that you didn't even know was missing. This moment, this video, this message, it's not random. You didn't stumble upon it by accident. Your higher self, your intuition, your soul, whatever you want to call that deeper part of you that sees beyond the surface of things, it guided you here. It's been guiding you all along, through every choice, every detour, every seeming mistake that led you to this exact point in time. But here's where it gets interesting. The message isn't just that you were meant to find this. The message isn't just that there are no accidents. The real message is about what happens next. Because awareness without action is just spiritual entertainment. Recognition without response is just another form of distraction. You can feel the truth of what I'm saying, but feeling it isn't enough. Understanding it isn't enough. The universe doesn't send messages for you to simply acknowledge them. It sends them to activate something within you. There's a reason you've been feeling restless lately. A reason why the old patterns don't satisfy you anymore. A reason why you keep searching for something more, something deeper, something real. Your soul is outgrowing the container of your current life. The person you've been is too small for who you're becoming. And that growing, that expanding, that evolution, it's not comfortable. It's not supposed to be. The message you've been waiting for isn't coming from outside you. It's not hidden in the next book you read, or the next video you watch, or the next person you meet. The message is rising from within you. It's been there all along, waiting for you to get quiet enough, still enough, present enough to hear it. And now, in this moment, you're finally listening. What that message is telling you will change everything. It's telling you that you have permission. Permission to stop apologizing for taking up space. Permission to stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Permission to stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect circumstances that will never come. The universe doesn't operate on your timeline of when you think you'll be ready. It operates on divine timing, and that timing is now. You've been carrying something heavy, haven't you? Something that feels too big for you to handle alone. Maybe it's a dream that seems impossible. Maybe it's a truth you've been afraid to speak. Maybe it's a version of yourself you've been too scared to become. But here's what the universe wants you to know. You weren't given that dream, that truth, that vision of who you could be as some kind of cosmic joke. You weren't shown a glimpse of your potential just to torture you with what you can't have. Every desire that burns in your chest, every vision that keeps you awake at night, every pull toward something greater, these aren't random electrical firings in your brain. They're coordinates. They're your soul's GPS system, guiding you toward your authentic path. But you have to be willing to follow the directions, even when they lead you through unfamiliar territory. The people in your life right now, they're not accidents either. Some of them are mirrors, reflecting back parts of yourself you need to see. Some of them are teachers, presenting lessons you need to learn. And some of them are bridges, helping you cross from who you've been to who you're becoming. But not all of them are meant to make the entire journey with you. And that's okay. That's not failure. That's evolution. You've been asking the wrong questions. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this preparing me for? Instead of asking, when will this get easier? Ask, how is this making me stronger? Instead of asking, why can't I have what I want? Ask, what do I need to become to be ready for what I want? The universe isn't withholding anything from you. It's developing you. It's preparing you. It's making sure you're strong enough to handle what you've been asking for. This restlessness you feel, this dissatisfaction with where you are, it's not a sign that something is wrong with your life. It's a sign that something is right with your soul. It means you're growing. It means you're evolving. It means you're ready for the next level, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. Even if your circumstances haven't shifted yet, even if everyone around you thinks you should be satisfied with where you are. But satisfaction isn't your destiny. Comfort isn't your calling. You were born to expand, to explore, to experience more than what currently exists in your world. And that expansion requires you to step into spaces that feel uncertain, uncomfortable, unknown. It requires you to trust something bigger than your fears, bigger than your doubts, bigger than your past experiences that tell you to play it safe. The message you found here today isn't just for you to receive. It's for you to embody. It's for you to become a living example of what happens when someone finally listens to what their soul has been trying to tell them, when someone finally stops running from their calling and starts running toward it, when someone finally realizes that the thing they've been searching for outside themselves has been waiting inside them all along. Your life is about to change, not because of what you've learned here, but because of what you choose to do with what you already know. The truth you've been avoiding, the step you've been postponing, the conversation you've been delaying, the dream you've been dismissing as impractical. The time for waiting is over. The time for excuses is over. The time for playing small is over. You didn't find this message by accident. This message found you because you're ready. ready to stop living in the waiting room of your own life, ready to stop being a spectator to your own story, ready to step into the fullness of who you were created to be. The universe has been preparing you for this moment your entire life. Every experience, every challenge, every victory, every loss, it's all been training you for what comes next. This is your invitation. This is your activation. This is your moment to choose expansion over contraction, courage over comfort, purpose over safety. The message isn't just that you're ready. The message is that you've always been ready. You just needed to remember, and now you have.